What is up, Houston Texans fans? Mello Mike here for the Bull Bash. This is the third video of our midseason report cards on the offensive line. And as of this video, the Texans have just beat the Titans 16-13. So this report card will reflect that. As far as the other videos I've done, I don't see anything in those from today's performance that has changed my opinion of what was going on with either the quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, or tight ends. So those are going to remain the same. They did, however, find a better way of getting Nico Collins involved with the offense this game. So I'm going to be breaking that down with the post game recap. As for the offensive line, this unit just has its problems. The coaching is better, I will say that. It is night and day from the execution standpoint, better than what we saw last year under Chris Strausser. When you look at the stats, it's a little bit inflated in terms of last year because of the fact that it does not take into account all of the big runs that Joe Mixon was able to rip off despite the bad run blocking in front of him. And that brought up the yards per carry from last year to this year. Run blocking is being executed better, but the lack of talent is holding that unit back. And if you look at the numbers, it still says that last year is better than this year, and it doesn't account for the absence of Joe Mixon this year. What I am going to say is this unit still struggles in between the tackles. And it's very, very noticeable, especially when you get into the red zone. You just do not have the talent to go out there and compete with guys like a Zach Allen or Devondre Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons. When you get down there into the red zone, the Texans' inability to score from the 1 yard line has been a point of contention for this season. Also, third down, short yardage runs, the Texans have not been very good on this year as well. That continued to be an issue. Pass blocking is, they say it's a little bit better, but for me, I think this unit is actually worse in pass protection than last year's unit. They're giving up sacks in bunches. Ariante Ursery being a key cog in that issue. He struggles with speed, cannot deal with speed rushers very well. He does better with guys that he's seeing for the second time around. With Josh Hines-Allen was one. He was basically getting his lunch taken from him that first matchup, and he went out there and he shut Josh Hines-Allen down the second time they matched up last week in Jacksonville. This week it was on display again. He was being beaten. Power rushers, he still allows them to get into his chest. He's still susceptible to swing moves, can be beaten on the inside. And, it's what you expect when you have a rookie offensive tackle on the left side. There's going to be some growing pains there. And it has not been pretty in certain instances, and it has looked better in other games. And it is what it is. As far as the interior positions go, left guard has been a jumbled mess. It is the weak point of the offensive line as it stands right now. We've tried Juice Scruggs there. He played for a game. He looked better than Laken Tomlinson, who we have not seen as of late. He's been benched. He's probably going to stay on the bench unless a worst-case scenario. Looked like a very bad pickup for Nick Caserio. Laken Tomlinson was the equivalent of a Shaq Mason, a Kenyon Green. He looked just about as good as those guys did, which, needless to say, is dog shit. They did not look good at all. Center, you have Jake Andrews, Jared Patterson. Patterson, as of late, has been playing the last two games at left guard, supplanting Juice Scruggs. When Scruggs was playing right guard last game, Titus Howard is back, so Titus was at right guard until Ed Ingram hopefully returns next week from that knee injury that he's had. And Patterson has, due to the coach's decision, I would have to say he's been better than Juice Scruggs, and has been the guy that the Texans are leaning to at left guard. And he started out his career at left guard before taking over the center position from Juice Scruggs. So Jaret Patterson is just a reliable backup. I mean, he's a guy that he could give you some solid pass protection. That is the strength of his game. He's more of a zone blocking lineman. He's not going to give you anything against elite defensive tackles. He does not have the talent to match up with those guys. He doesn't offer much in terms of run blocking. He's not going to give you a push against bigger defensive tackles. It just is what it is. Jake Andrews is a better run blocker. He executes very well in those double team duo concepts, and he has noticeable struggles against, again, more talented defensive tackles in pass protection. He gets beaten often. And the Texans need to address center and left guard in free agency, the draft, however they decide to do it next year, because it is an issue. Right guard, Ed Ingram. I believe Ed has earned himself an extension at right guard. I think if Ed Ingram is back, we're going to see Titus Howard shift to left guard, as much as I hate to say it, because Titus has been playing at a Pro Bowl level at right tackle. But from what we've seen, Trent Brown has been serviceable at right tackle. He is not as good as Titus Howard at right tackle, especially in pass protection. Trent Brown is very, very stiff. He lacks movement skills. He's not going to protect that edge against guys with elite bend that could get around that edge very quickly, as we saw this game in the Titans. And, it's the best option that they have. They're going to improve the run blocking with Trent Brown and Ed Ingram on the right side and Ariante Ursary and Titus Howard, because it gives you the biggest interior matchup that you're going to have. And Titus Howard, to this point, is going to be better than Jaret Patterson. He's going to be better than Juice Scruggs, Laken Tomlinson, Sighty Soul. God help us if we got to see that guy again. That was terrible, and I hope they're done with that experiment. I have no clue what they were thinking throwing him in a starting rotation. Somebody needs to have their eyes checked. I mean, Ray Charles could tell you that guy stunk. He was an absolute abomination and should never be on an offensive line again, in my opinion. I would not have him out there in any form or capacity. I wouldn't even put him on the damn practice squad. He's that bad. You'd be better going picking up a street free agent than putting that guy out there on the field again. My opinion, honest grade for these guys is just, I want to give them a D+. They have issues with pass protection. They have issues with run blocking still. It has not gotten any better. And the only thing that you could say has gotten better is the coaching. Cole Popovich has gone in. He's cleaned up the mental errors. He's been able to get these guys to perform more consistently against stunts, against twists. They do a better job of recognizing simulated pressures. They do a good job of eliminating free rushers coming at the quarterback. Cole Popovich has done the absolute best that you can ask of him with the talent that he has been given. And until that talent increases, this offensive line is what it is. And they're suffering right now because of, again, they're waiting till this point in the season to identify their best starting five, because they have struggled with personnel. They have not identified the best starting five in the past 2 seasons, and it has been absolutely atrocious. I don't know what goes on, who's making decisions inside of Energy over there when it comes to these offensive linemen, but, it seems to me like they do not recognize who the best players are on the football field at any given time when it comes to offensive line. They still suck at evaluating offensive line talent. So that's it for me. Congratulations to the Texans on the dub. H is up. See you guys in the next video. Go ahead, leave your comments down there in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with the grade? Do you disagree? We'll see you in the next video.